Hello, flower friends. Do I have a treat for you today? You guys have actually probably heard me talk about her on the podcast. She is one of my favorite flower friends that is in the Floral CEO Mastermind, and I am so proud of her. And that's why I wanted to bring her on, you guys, because I think that we see on Instagram somebody who's just like blown up, and we look at their stuff and everything feels really unattainable. But I want to share with you Carol from Blissful Blooms Studio, who is on her way blowing up and basically has completely changed her life since I've known her, but really recently has made a very big step in quitting her corporate floral job of 35 years, you guys, which took so much, I mean, strength, being brave, putting big girl panties on it, but frankly, doing the work. And so I want to share with you guys a story of how you can come up and push through things. And really, I hope you guys really get a sense of maybe even hearing some of this is me in her story, because a lot of us have been here or could be here at some point. And Carol, I'm so excited you're here. I've been wanting to have you on the podcast for a while, but why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you and your business and kind of your backstory?
Hello, thank you for having me. So, I'm Carol from Blissful Bloom Studio, and I started my journey working in a flower shop many years ago, and then just continued through the corporate world doing other florals, working for other floral companies, and then this last one for 35 years. So,
Which is a long time, Holy Toledo. And
yeah,
that was production corporate. Like you
yes,
guys are pumping out weddings, but you also do like Valentine's Day craziness, Mother's Day craziness, and you also did greenhouse.
yeah,
Like everything,
extrovert
like
event,
everything.
everything. Yep,
Yep.
yep. Inside, outside, upside down.
Upside down. And
Yeah.
35 years, but a couple years ago, you got the itch to start your own business. Tell me a little bit about that.
So it was after COVID, and we didn't start hiring back our help, but we were blowing up
So
with
business was getting like super crazy busy, like especially in COVID,
yep,
flowers just nobody could see each other, so it was just super busy.
yep. And then after, the business just kept going and it kept building and building, but we weren't getting help.
Oh, they
Um,
didn't bring back any of the staff
and
that
bring
they
back.
laid off.
So it was more work with less, and it just was a lot, a
Yeah.
real, and
And that can wear on you, obviously. Not only your
physically,
body.
mentally, you're just always go, 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 no
Mm,
breaks. And, working long hours and just constantly moving. So, yeah, so I just was starting to think, this is really hard on my body and I'm missing my life. And how can I change this?
yeah. I mean, that's crazy. And so like when you came to the realization, you're like, I need to change this, doesn't feel good. Like what did you do next? What were kind of like the next steps to like I need to start building a plan?
So I just started researching. Like I was looking on Instagram, I was following, like looking things up online, like how to start your own business, all this. And I'm just going it alone. And
Okay.
then I come across your podcast and your Instagram, and I started following you and getting a little more ideas and doing a little more, and then yeah, just kind of starting to move the needle little by little,
Yeah.
and then eventually connected with you.
Yep.
And the first thing was I did a one of your workshops,
Yep.
really one of the first things.
Yep.
And it just lit a spark inside of me. I was so excited and connecting with all these other florists in person from different areas of the country. And it was just like so exciting and fun. And I learned so much, even though I had been in the business for years.
Yeah,
So,
it's funny because like we can always learn from somebody, but I've been a florist as long as you, and for a long time I was just like, I know so much, but it's like everybody has a different way of doing things, and even if you've been a florist for 30 years, you can still learn from someone else, but you have to get your ego out of the way. And I think that's one thing that you do really well is like you don't have an ego. Even though you've been doing this forever, you're just a sponge on learning. And I think that's one reason why this has really taken off so fast for you because you are a sponge, but you also aren't, you don't know more than anybody else. You're like just totally willing. If there's a better way to do it, you're open to that and want to hear it. And that is something that I wish more florists actually had that skill because it's hard when you've been doing this for so long to not have naturally a little bit of an ego.
Yeah, true. And you're right. I do love learning. I love learning from everyone,
Hmm.
all the different techniques and ideas and just new trends. There's just always something to learn.
Yep.
Definitely.
And then when you decided, you came to the workshop, which was super fun, and then you, of course, had really amazing pictures for your portfolio, and then you joined the mastermind.
I
Uh,
joined the mastermind actually a couple months
months for it. Yep.
before it, and then just started like getting my feet wet and meeting other people through the mastermind and just listening to everyone. And I had never gone anywhere alone. Like I had never flown alone, stayed in a hotel alone, none of that.
Carol,
So
how you have grown because you literally have now done it. You've been to three now?
four.
Four. And now you're coming in August as well. So like they I think that sometimes getting out of your comfort zone and like and then keeping kind of almost like that pressure of getting out of your comfort zone, that's where like the biggest growth I see happen when somebody gets uncomfortable. And you have been really good about getting uncomfortable and doing and stretching and be like, even though I'm tired, like I'm showing up. Even on a Wednesday, sometimes you were showing up in your car on your break because they were messing with you and switched your schedule around. But you have so religiously showed up. And I think that it is really easy when things get hard to not do that. And so I applaud like that you've been so great about showing up for your business and showing up because you know that that's where change is really going to happen. And it's so easy to give up when they're stressed though. And I see it time in and time out. Like, oh, things are a little bit hard, I'm giving up, but you haven't. And I think that's really a big part of how you've gotten here. You have been a sponge, but you have just quit your day job. How long ago now? Do you have a countdown of how long you've been out of?
Um, no, because I just like close my eyes and close the door. But
Yep.
but I left there in April.
You
So
left there in April.
it's been probably about 6 weeks.
Okay. About
Yeah.
6 weeks.
About
And how many weddings do you have booked this year?
So currently have 19 and possibly another one. So it would be
But you have
20
four consults pending you
for
getting
20.
your for 27. If you think about it, last year going into this, you were when we did our goal planning that we do, I think you were like happy that you would get, what was your goal number for this year?
My goal for the whole year was 20, and
Yeah.
I said in January I had 7. So
Yes.
I said if I can get to 15 or even 12, then I'll leave my day job. So I left my day job. I had, I think, 11,
Hmm.
11 or 12. And then since then, just 6 weeks, I've gotten 8 more.
That is crazy because now you've had the time and the space. Like, it is so crazy to me how much mental space takes up from you getting your when things are stressful or when I mean obviously just physical time restraints with it going to a full-time job. You've just went gung ho and where do you think some of that success has come from?
Definitely from the mastermind, from
Okay.
the girls in the group, from being able to bounce things off of other people,
Yep.
just how they do it, connecting. Definitely systems.
Yeah.
Like you taught me systems. Systems play a key role in just
Well,
keeping everything
even like your lead system that you had, you were like feeling a little defeated because you were getting some no's.
right.
And you guys, like, this is, if you're listening to this, like, if something isn't working, get an outside opinion because I literally wa looked at your emails and you write beautiful emails, but you felt like you needed to be a little bit more like business-like. And Carol is one of the most lovable, loving, like sweet people, and I couldn't feel that in her emails because of a few like very small amount of word choices.
Mhm.
And once we tweak that, it was starting to come together like amazingly. You booked, I think, the next three right after that small shift. So feedback from somebody else who isn't in your shoes is to me so critical because you don't eh, necessarily intend something to come off. You feel like you're doing the right thing, but if somebody knows you and loves you, and like I have learned all of those things about you. It's not something that, is easy to look at in 2 seconds, but it's something when you have support that you can refine and tweak into your systems because those systems, once you repeat them, you're going to start feeling more comfortable. And you have gained so much confidence in your systems in your business now that you feel confident. Hey, I'm going to meet. I remember when you were doing like a bunch of consultations at once and you were like, okay, how am I going to get all these done? And how am I going to do all this? And it's
Yeah,
just like we rein it in. This is happening. This is what we wanted. This is
right.
what success looks like, all this opportunity. And I think you've really embraced that. But I feel like there's one other thing that's worked really well from you, just from a leads perspective. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I joined Zola, which I had never heard of until the mastermind.
Hmm.
And everybody was like, "Yeah, I'm on it. You were on it." And so I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna join it." And it's free, but you can pay for leads or join unlimited.
Unlimited.
So
Mhm.
in the beginning, I did the pay for leads because I wasn't really sure what to put on there or how it worked.
Yep.
And then I just started getting trickles. And then I was like, oh, this is actually working. So then I did unlimited. And now, like, I get probably at least 60% of my leads from there right now. So it's been really helpful for me.
Yeah, and they've been like decent leads. You've booked a bunch of them. It's not, I feel like sometimes like on the Knot and Wedding Wire, if you've gotten leads from there, anybody who's listening, sometimes like you're like, this is such crap lead. You get basically no information. And I'm not saying the information you get from Zola, I really wish that they would update their budget information because it
Yeah.
just gives you the overall budget of the wedding, not the actual floral budget. But I feel like if you work the process, which we have refined in the mastermind, like how you get them off of the third party and into your funnel.
Key. That was
Yeah,
key.
that is because you were going back and forth with these people in this funnel that or it's like their funnel. It's not your funnel. You're on their terms and their turf and have like basically no control over
And that's the
anything.
change we made. So the
Hmm.
change by doing that and then having it come directly to me, then I have the control and you
Yep.
can weed out the price shoppers. You can
Yep.
weed out the people that aren't serious and not really looking for quality blooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
They just went
that
cheap.
yeah, that system, like just getting them off and onto your own to do your own like system of vetting and figuring out who is good to work with for your skill level and
Yeah.
your designs, that made a huge difference. And
Yeah.
just the fact that I was trying to be so business like kind of turned people off. So after we
Yeah.
tweaked that, it just came together and it was amazing. Hmm?
Yeah, it's crazy what we think we should be doing and what actually works. Like I I feel like authentically being yourself in your business it is something that like so many people have a hard time doing, but it's one of the biggest things that will grant you success. And I think like embracing who you are, like you coming in as a super trendy, trying to act young and hip, like you're sweet and caring and like care so much about them getting the perfect flowers. You have so many ideas. Like you want what you truly are to come across in a consult, but I think so many people think that they need to be somebody else, which is
Exactly.
so far from the truth. Like I come into consultations confident, like edgy. You don't have to worry about anything. I got you. Here's a million ideas. Like, and that's what sells me. But what sells you is something totally different. And I feel like most florists think we need to fit in this little box, like we're a bunch of drones. And it's just, to me, not the case.
Especially this day and age with everything being computerized and
Yep.
it's so important now just to be yourself.
Yeah,
Just to
it
be yourself.
is. So
Yep.
what finally got you to the edge of making the decision? Like you're like, of course I know you had the goal of like getting 12-ish weddings to 15, but I know something happened that like gained you a lot of perspective, and I'd love to talk about that because I went through obviously several similar experiences, but it really when I had Bodhi, it was kind of like this light bulb moment that I only have so much time to be his mother. I only have so much time like just in general because I shortly before that lost my mother. So if you wouldn't mind sharing talking about that because I feel like this happens to more people and people again don't talk about it,
Mhm.
but I know it's personal.
So for me, honestly, I lost my best friend on October 1st, and we were friends for over 45 years, and
Hmm.
we talked every day and, just
Yeah.
could pick up the phone at any time. She was my biggest cheerleader, and she was like, "You can do this, you can do this." And then
Hmm.
she just was gone one day. It was
Yeah.
unexpected
Yeah.
and just kind of threw me for a loop. And just on the way home from her service, I just looked at my husband and I said, "It's time. It's time
Yeah.
for me to move into this new chapter."
Yeah.
And it was a light bulb moment for me, like you say,
Yeah.
you had. And it really, I thought to myself, it's now or never,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for people out there who are older, don't think you can't do this because
Right.
I am just shy of 60. I'll be 60 next week.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? It's now or never, and I'm going to do it. And I don't know how long it'll last, but I'm going to enjoy every minute of it,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna figure it out and spend time with my husband. And yep, that was really the big push
Yeah.
that made me go all in.
And I think having that support, and I know I've talked about it on a lot of different podcasts, but that support, even obviously from your best friend, but your husband is super supportive.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys talk about adorable husband syndrome. All the things he does, he believes in you so much. He helped figure out like all of the deliveries of the like he totally supports you and sees you. And I think that if you don't have that support system, you need to find it because it is crazy to do this alone. And it was really sweet. And I still remember this when she had passed away, you had said to me, like, she was my bigger supporter, but until I really met you.
yeah,
And
and that's so true.
because I do believe in you so much, and that's why it like as a coach, this whole experience with you has been so fulfilling and like really this is why I do it because I was meant to help people like you be more successful and to see the success. I mean like I was like holy shit, Carol's gonna reach her goal and we're in June because you guys know she's going to book August, September, October, November weddings still. And that just brings so much joy to me because I know that you deserve everything that's been happening to you and actually so much more. I know it's only going to get bigger, it's only going to blow up more. And all the things that you're doing, I think, are just going to bring so much more joy and happiness in your life, which is the whole point.
And I already feel like
A
like
hundred times
so much
lighter.
happier. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's only been 6 weeks. I'm so excited for what's to come.
yeah. I really enjoy you in the mastermind. I really enjoy you guys, I love this woman. She is amazing. And if you do not follow her, you should head to Instagram because we also need to up her follower count, guys. It's something we constantly work on. And so, Carol, why don't you share how they can follow and connect with you?
They can follow me on Instagram at Blissful Bloom Studio, and also online. I have a website, blissfulbloomstudio.com.
Cool. Thank you so much for Carol. And if you guys are interested in the mastermind, please go check out floralceo.com/mastermind. We love having new girls in because we always learn something. it is crazy the things that are different across the country in the floral world, like what we learn from the girls that join. It's just, I think that that is so much fun for us all to just learn from each other and support each other. And I mean, like we have just really good, close relationships with each other. And especially when we get all of us together at one of the workshops, it's so much fun. And so just everybody's just a light. And I am grateful for the light that you have brought into my world because it's just been amazing getting to be your coach and your friend.
Oh, and I can say so much about you, Jenny. It was my pleasure to get to know you,
Mhm.
and you give me so much confidence, so much,
Oh,
and I really appreciate everything you do, the guidance, all the hard work you put into the workshops and the mastermind. It's great, and people should really know more about you because you're really good.
oh,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Carol. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And everybody go follow Carol. She is amazing, and I'm so excited to have shared her journey today.
Thank you.